right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the WCMF broadcast of swimming. It is championship season here for girls swimming. Welcome to the Badger West Conference. I'm your host, Mike Madursky, along with my broadcast partner, Wes Lagerhausen. We're here to bring you this junior varsity and varsity conference meet. Wes, welcome.
Thank you, it's great to be here.
They still haven't fired us yet, so I guess we'll just keep on going. So our first event of the day is the 200-yard medley relay, junior varsity. As you're looking at your screen, lane 1, it will be at your bottom, lane 2, and then lane 8 will be at the top of your screen. So for the junior varsity 200-yard medley relay, you'll have Sauk in lane 2, Edgewood's B relay in lane 3, Edgewood's A relay in lane 4, McFarland's A relay in lane 5, and McFarland's B relay in lane 6. And we're off with that backstroke leg. As we're talking about the medley relay, Wes, what are we looking for in terms of each of these events and each of the legs?
Well, even just knowing that this could be some swimmers' final meet of the season, this is a really exciting meet to be at. For this race in particular, it's always fun to kick the meet off with a relay, get everybody fired up, again, for championship season time. But for each leg, again, everything you've been working on the whole season has come to this point for some of these swimmers, and hopefully they can keep those details up as they go through each leg of their race and see all their hard work put into this weekend and the upcoming ones here for the next couple of weeks.
You can see Edgewood's A and B relay out to a good, comfortable lead here in the breaststroke, entering into that third leg, which is the butterfly. You're going to be hearing a lot of us talk about taper and the championship meets, championship season. Championship season starts with conference, which is this week. Next week will be sectionals, and that's where individual swimmers will qualify for state. And then that following Friday is state, which will be held at Waukesha South. So as a coach, do you take a look at all of your individual swimmers and try to decide who swims what and who will swim what events?
Yeah, I think it really boils down to the chance of the swimmers qualifying for state at sectionals. The first place winner of each event is an automatic qualifier, and then from there it goes based off your time. So depending on their times or their placement overall at sectionals will determine how far they make it into state, and those are things that start to happen even here at conference, whether you start resting for this meet to be ready for sectionals, or you're starting to rest for sectionals towards state. It really depends on the swimmer and how the coach wants to run their program here. And again, it's really exciting. They work hard all season long, training hard during practice, and now they get to cut back on some of the intensity during practice, focus on those details, and actually feel really fast and good in the water for the first time maybe all season.
And you can see Edgewood ended up in first place with a time of 1:59.96. Edgewood also in second place there with 2:13.56.
That's a great JV time. That would have even been up in the second heat of varsity here.
Right. Edgewood continues to be the leader when it comes to swimming. They've won state the last 5 years. And so, yeah, they look to be the team to beat. The girls 200-yard medley relay, this is now the varsity version. In lane 2, you'll have Lodi. their B relay. Lane 3 is Monroe-New Glarus. B relay. Lane 4 is Lodi-Heights. Lane 5, Oregon's A relay. Lane 6 is Sauk Prairie B relay. And you'll notice, we'll wait for the starter here. And what you'll notice here in varsity is every team is allowed to have an A relay and a B relay. So we'll actually have 2 heats of this 200-yard medley varsity. But keep in mind, it is a time final. So even times out of lane 1, or out of heat 1, can win, or at least place higher. So seeing what the times are will be a good measure of what the second heat needs to do.
Yeah, if you're following along, once this heat finishes up, they'll post the scoreboard on the screen. You can remember those times and see how they stack up going into the second heat.
It's a nice long pullout by lane 4 for Lodi. And we come to the butterfly leg. Oregon currently in the lead.
It's a great race so far.
Yep, Sauk coming up. And Oregon, it's a 3-way race.
It's all going to come down to freestyle.
Yep,
See what
happens. Come down to the freestyle.
Good exchanges.
Oregon looking to hold the lead here. And as we come to the finish, Oregon with a 2:05.60. We'll see how that holds up as we go into the top heat, second heat. And for that second heat, we'll have Sauk Prairie in lane 1, Monroe-New Glarus in lane 2, McFarland in lane 3, Baraboo lane 4, Edgewood lane 5, and in lane 6. Lane 7 is McFarland's B relay, and lane 8 is Baraboo's relay. Talk about scoring. So how the meet gets scored, we'll update the results for both junior varsity and varsity as we get them. But just know at this point, points are doubled for relays. So having your A and B relay score on the top is very important for the team scores.
Absolutely. Plus starting the meet off again with a relay, really trying to get off to a good start or even a lead. It's a nice way to get rolling here at conference.
Exactly. You have Mara Freeman for McFarland, Natalie Nizer in lane 4, Claire Sweeney for Edgewood in 5, and Emma Reed in lane 6. Good takeoffs there and exchanges. And the handoff, Emily Schoenbrot, Ella Lohr, Izzy Bloom. In this leg.
Yeah, we have the top times here so far this season for the medley relay here at Division II. Currently, Baraboo has the top time for Division II in the state at a 1:50.09. We'll see how these times look coming in here at conference.
It's coming down to Edgewood, Baraboo. Edgewood's got that slight lead. And Edgewood comes in first, Baraboo second, McFarland third, 1:48.82, 1:49.47.
Yep, both those times, the new fastest times in the state for D2 200 medley relays. It's a good sign going into sectionals.
Absolutely, 1 and 2. And McFarland too also improved their time, 1:51.93. They had a time, they were in the top 5 as well. 1:52.70 was their time prior.
That's great.
So the other 2 teams in the top 5 that aren't in this division, Rhinelander and Ashwaubenon, they have their conference meets this weekend too. So we'll see how this all shapes up for sectionals next week. All right, next up is we have the girls 200-yard freestyle. This is the junior varsity. Lane 1, we have Ballwig from Sauk. Lane 2, Schrader from Sauk. Then 3 Edgewoods, Uzagast, Massapettino, Pinto, Torgensen, Draper for McFarland's in 6. Beyer for Sauk in 7. Meyer for Sauk in lane 8. My apologies if anybody's listening from any of those families and I butchered those names, so we'll try to work on those as we get through those. But
hey,
those are 3 tough names, right?
They never said this job was easy.
No, it's not. Wes, what do you look for in a 200 free?
Again, in a 200 freestyle here, practicing all season, you're starting to fine-tune your pace, meaning your control over your stroke, but still going as fast as you can for the total distance. Most of the time, the key 50 out of the 4 would be that third 50. So as the swimmers come into the wall here towards their 100 mark, my hope from my previous experience as a coach and a swimmer would be to see some of my swimmers or myself turn it on here, have a strong third 50 so you're able to bring it home on the last.
There you go. We'll get this confirmed. I also want to point out that medley relay by Edgewood is also an unofficial pool record as well. So we'll check that as we get the results.
Yeah, that's exciting with this new pool here. There's going to be potentially a lot of pool records done here.
Yeah, a lot of new pool records probably today, as this is the first large competition in high school at this pool. So very exciting time for McFarland swimming in the McFarland pool. Great new facility.
It's perfect for hosting here. It's beautiful. Glad to see so many swimmers here. Again, having fun and enjoying the sport.
Yep, absolutely. And as they are coming in, lane 4 from Edgewood with a 2:05.77.
Nice time drop.
Yeah, her seat time for that event, 2:09.92. That's Audrey Messio Pinto in lane 4. All right, we have, next is the girls 200-yard freestyle. We'll have 4 heats of this event. Heat 1, 3 swimmers, Shanks from Portage, Ringhand from Oregon, Buthen from Lodi, Wisconsin Heights. We have a slight delay. There was a soft touch at one of the lanes, so they're just confirming times, getting time set up.
Yeah, in a perfect scenario, when the swimmers come into the wall, there's actually a touch pad that hangs into the water, and everything would stop the watches by them touching the wall. But in an instance like this, they have to refer to the volunteer timers that are behind the blocks to confirm the time.
Not only confirm the time, but then the referee is also monitoring his thoughts of how the race went in terms of places, and so
yep, the order of finish.
Yep, so they're just confirming with the clock and with the scores that what the referee saw and what the clocks say are all the same. So while we're waiting, we did get the JV results. In third place, McFarland's A relay. Second, Edgewood's B relay. And the first place was Edgewood's A relay. Sophia Kabata, Olivia Budzinski, Seneca DeMarb, Claire Ruthering in first place with a time of 1:59.96. And from the point standpoint, that is 40 points for the Edgewood team. Actually, because they took second, they get to 34. So in JV, Edgewood scored 74 points in the first event. So they're off to a nice, comfortable lead. And here is that first leg of that 200-yard freestyle for Varsity, heat number 1. Again, Shanks in lane 3, Ringhand in lane 4, Buthin, Lodi, Wisconsin Heights in lane 5. On the Varsity side, the results for that 200-yard medley relay: third place, McFarland's A relay; second place, Baraboo's A relay; and in first, Edgewood A relay team of Sweeney, Teedites, Bloom, and Abby Reed, again with a time of 1:48.82. That is a new pool record. And actually the top 3, so 1:51.93, would not have been a pool record. Sorry, check that. 1:51.56 was the pool record. So they just missed it. But again, Baraboo and Edgewood swimming pool records. And again, scoring 40 points for Edgewood, 34 for Baraboo, 32 for McFarland. We'll get the team scores after a few events. We'll talk about how the team scores go, but Edgewood starting off strong in this Badger West Conference swim meet. And as we're coming down to the end of the 200-yard freestyle, got a close race here between Oregon's Ringen and Lodi's Bethune. Let's see who comes in.
Great race.
Great race. Bethune comes in a 2:32.75 to come in first place there. Meredith Shanks, freshman from Portage, coming in third.
Again, nice time drops at everybody in that heat. Great to see.
All right, heat number 2 of 4 for that 200-yard freestyle. Roofer from Monroe-New Glarus, Lochner from Lodi in lane 3. Prairie from Lodi in lane 4. Brown from Baraboo in lane 5. Foley from Monroe-New Glarus in lane 6. Swollen from Baraboo in lane 7. You mentioned the time drop. You know, I think that's the best thing about swimming is, yes, it's a team sport, but you really want to see the improvement every single race, and you're seeing that today, so it's great.
That's your opponent forever, is you and the clock. That's your main opponent. You use your competition to help step up and help you go against that common enemy, but in the end, that's what you want to beat the clock, beat your times that you've been posting all season, and swim fast, have fun.
So the top time so far is 2:32.75. All of these swimmers have C times below that, so we should see a new top time out of this heat as well. I'd like to point out, if you are listening on YouTube, feel free. We do have the chat open, so if you have any questions for Wes or I, we'd be more than happy to try to answer them if we can. Our last event that we hosted in October, there were some questions we had to go find out, but we eventually found those out. So,
hey, I don't mind learning a thing or two.
That's right.
Look at this outside over there in lane 7. Really getting after it. It's great to see. Outside smoke is what we call it.
Outside smoke, that's right. Well, outside smoke's always fun to watch. As far as entries go, as everybody, if you don't know, every team, every swimmer is allowed 2 individual swims and then 2 relays. So you can't really stack the relays with your best swimmers for all 3, so they have to pick 2 out of the 3 relays that are out there.
Wow.
And a great time, 2:17.38 from Ophelia Swollen. That's a 13-point drop, 13-second drop. For C time, 2:30.16, so well done. We'll see how that holds up. Going into heat 3. Coy for Sauk Prairie in lane 1. Siren for Oregon in lane 2. Stout for Baraboo in 3. McClure for Edgewood in 4. Surslin for Baraboo in 5. League for McFarland in 6. Lynch, Monroe-New Glarus in 7. Flanagan, Sauk in 8. I'll tell you, that's what I love about the sport. You see these huge time drops when it's important.
No, I mean, again, this is a great focus meet. It could be the final meet of the season for some of these swimmers. So for them to come out here and put up something that they've never done before is great to see.
Right.
Depending on how much it is, sometimes it's almost unbelievable, but that's also what you're working towards. Supersede your expectations and race.
Exactly. So that's, I think, where taper comes in a little bit. Do you want to explain kind of what that means? I think it means things different to other people, but what's your definition of taper and how that works and how that adjusts your swimming?
The simplest way I can probably explain the phrase taper would be resting of both your mind and body. Body is for sure, again, as you cut back on maybe the yards you do during practice, but also all the extra things where it prepares you mentally for your competition. As a coach, you'd always prepare the swimmers with their race strategy, knowing what they're walking into, what type of meet, what events they're going to be swimming, and getting them all excited for this experience. And with all those things combined, they should coming in here with a new excitement. Not that dual meets don't have that during the regular season of swimming, but when it comes down to the final meet, it just has that little extra something, and it can produce great results in the races.
We're coming down to the final yards, and it looks like Bailey Surson from, Alex McClure from Edgewood won in a 2:03.27. Again, nice time drop. 2:07.57 was her seat time. She dropped 4 seconds, so good job there. Second place, Bailey Surson from Baraboo. And in third place, lane number 6, Lily League from McFarland, 2:07.33. All right, this is now our final heat. Talmage from Sauk in lane 1, Schwartz from Oregon lane 2, Thompson, Edgewood in lane 3, Izzy Enns, lane 4 from Edgewood, Stacy Bryn from Edgewood in lane 5, Acker from Sauk in lane 6, Sophia Elf 7, Hadley Johnson from McFarland lane 8. And I would tell you, watch the middle of the pool, Izzy Enns. Currently one of the top times in the state. Also the McFarland pool record holder at 1:57.15.
Yeah, both Izzy and Bryn here from Edgewood have 2 of the top 5 teams or times in the state for D2 right now in the 200 free. The only person that's faster than Izzy is from a Schwabenon at a 1:52.0. Both Izzy at a 1:53 and Bryn at a 1:55. We'll see how they do here today.
And not surprising, they've taken it out fast. Currently going 1 and 2.
Again, trying to get into this third 50, this last wall, so they can attack their last 50 as fast as they can. See what happens here.
1:24.21 for the 150 here. She's going to have a pretty decent time. And Izzy coming in at a 1:54.31. New pool record for Izzy. Second place, lane 5, Stacy Bryn from Edgewood, 1:55.98. Third place, lane 3, Sylvia Thompson, also from Edgewood, 1:59.59. So
Congrats
1, 2, 3,
on
sweep.
Congrats on breaking that 2-minute mark. It's a tough barrier to do in swimming.
Absolutely. All right, while we're getting ready for the 200-yard individual medley junior varsity, making announcements in terms of who won the 200 medley relay. So next up, again, 200-yard medley, individual medley, junior varsity, lane 2 from Monroe-New, Glarus. You have Emma Tran, lane 3, Calista Mignon from McFarland, lane 4, Worth from McFarland in lane 4, Izzy Tobin from McFarland in lane 5, Damar from Edgewood is in lane 6. as we watch this, just to give you an idea, top times in the state for the 200 IM, and you'll see Anna Tiedite's later in varsity, but Anna Tiedite's currently holding the top time at 2:10.18. All right, here's the junior varsity. So how do you teach kids to swim this 200 IM?
I think really picking up on the overall strength of the swimmer is important for this race. As a coach, sometimes maybe leaning on that breaststroke, since that is a more difficult stroke to learn. Sometimes breaststrokers transition well into being an IMer, but this race overall leaves hardly any wiggle room. You have to be good at all 4 strokes to be competitive at this race. It's a lot of fun.
We are at the backstroke leg of the individual medley. Currently, Edgewood's Seneca DeMar in the lead.
Yep, finishing on their backs there, then transitioning in a breaststroke.
And here's where, typically in high school, you see if there's going to be a lead change, this is where it is. And you do see Izzy Tobin starting to move up.
Yep. With this stroke taking the most time to complete, it also opens up the biggest opportunity to make a move during the race during this time. Again, not mentioning also the difficulty of the stroke overall. Breaststroke is probably the most different out of the 4 strokes due to the type of kick that you have to do and the overall stroke pattern of the stroke. Most of the others, you plant your hands right in front of your shoulders and pull straight back. For breaststroke, there's a little bit more of a circular motion towards the arms, and again with that frog kick for the legs.
And Calista Mignon from McFarland here, the freshman, trying to make a move. We will see if DeBarb can hold her off.
Great tempo, it's gonna be close.
And it's gonna be DeMar holding off. To her surprise, I don't know if you saw her face. Look at her face, she's excited. 2:38.98 with the win there. Second is Mignon from McFarland, 2:39.73. And in third, Izzy Tobin, McFarland, 2:45.12. All right, event number 6 now, the 200-yard individual medley for varsity. We have 2 heats. Jessica Brisky from Lodi, Wisconsin-Heights in lane 1. Cambrone from Oregon in lane 2. Dior from Sauk in lane 3. Miller from Sauk in lane 4. Schaefer, Monroe-New Glarus in lane 5. Ellie Kunze from McFarland in lane 6. Jan from Monroe-New Glarus in 7. Groshek from Lodi, Wisconsin-Heights in lane 8. And as that first heat dives in the pool, I did get the official results for the 200-yard freestyle in junior varsity. Urzagast from Edgewood in third, Torgerson from Edgewood in second, and Maskia Pinto from Edgewood in first. with a time of 2:05:21. On the varsity side, again, another 1-2-3 finish for Edgewood. Thompson in third place. The freshman swims at 1:59:59. Stacy Brand Jr. for Edgewood, 1:55:98. And in first place, Izzy Enns, junior from Edgewood, 1:54:31. And also, again, a new pool record for Izzy. All right, that's Cassandra Miller with a great backstroke leg there, currently in first.
Breaststroke looks pretty solid too.
Yeah,
I guess that she'll hold on very well here.
Yeah, we'll want to see what her time is.
Again, just looking at this distance between first place and the rest of the field just shows how much a difference preparation and overall excitement for this meet can have in swimmers' races.
Yeah, Cassandra Miller, currently her seat time, 2:23:73. Just sitting 2 minutes on the time. Coming down to her last 25. Sandra Miller is going to win that first heat with a time of 2:22:01. That time would have put her in the second heat. So we'll see where she ends up after the second heat. Second place, Ella Schaefer, Monroe-New Glarus. Third, out of lane 2, Jane Gambrone from Oregon. All right, heat number 2 of this 200-yard individual medley. Olesen from Sauk in lane 1, Vega from Edgewood in lane 2, Izzy Bloom from Edgewood in lane 3, Anna Tiedites, the favorite here in lane 4 from Edgewood, Mackenzie Stute from Baraboo in lane 5, Nizer from Baraboo in lane 6, Adriana Nichols, the senior from McFarland, in lane 7, and Catherine Dunn, freshman from Oregon, in lane 8. This is a pretty young field here. You've got 1, 2, 3, I guess 4. 4 sophomores, 4 underclassmen in this final heat.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it'll be fun. That's fun to watch.
Start some good competition here for the next couple of years.
Absolutely. And we're off with a second and final heat of a 200-yard individual medley. Anna Tiedites in lane 4, I would say, is the person to watch. She has the top time here in the state. Comes from a long line of Tiedite swimmers.
Absolutely. I used to swim at Drew in college.
Anna also, I believe, committed to Wisconsin as well.
And we'll see how she does against her 2:10.18 here today.
Kenzie Stute in lane 5, who's right next to her, has the number 4 time here for Baraboo at a 2:13.20. So we'll see if Mackenzie can give Anna a little run for her money.
It's actually going to be a pretty tight race here, last 50.
Yep. We got Stute, Nizer, Bloom, all fighting for that second spot. All right, Anna Tidates with the win here. 2:09.95. Lane 3, Izzy Bloom from Edgewood with a 2:11.89. And in third place, Sam Vega, also from Edgewood, 2:13.25. Another 1-2-3 sweep for Edgewood.
Results from the Varsity 200 freestyle. In 8th place, McFarland leading Johnson. In 7th place, Baraboo, Sauk. In 6th place, Edgewood, McClure. In 5th place, Sauk.
That, by the way, that 2:09.95, also a new pool record here in McFarland. The previous pool record, 2:12.41 by Bailey Ratzenberg. Milton, I think she was Milton, Monona, or Monroe. It's one of those two schools.
Yeah, even those top 5 times there, those are all under the 2019 and 2020 state qualifying time. So that bodes well going into sectionals next week. Good luck to all those swimmers qualifying.
Yeah, exactly. All right, this is the junior varsity 50-yard freestyle. Kyla Thorson from McFarland in lane 3. Cora Brickle from Sauk in lane 4. Caitlin Carson from Edgewood in lane 5. There are 3 heats of that 50 free. Cora Brickle from Sauk, the freshman, with a 35.46. Her best time, her seat time, 37.18, so another drop there. Kyla Thorson coming in. Also beating her
Nice.
seat time, 105.61. She came in, it's soft touch, but
I would
I'll
say
call
right
it
around 103.
Yeah, 103. Awesome, good for her. All right, lane number 2, or heat number 2. Gracie Terry from Baraboo in lane 1, Megan Cook, McFarland lane 2, Gladys Sion from McFarland lane 3, Malweg from McFarland lane 4, Zoo from McFarland lane 5, Rodriguez in lane 6 from Sauk, Finnery from McFarland in lane 7, Kruger from Sauk in lane 8. All right, this is kind of a splash and dash, so we'll get to team scores in a bit, but it's looking like Malwig for McFarland in lane 4. Yes, 30.97. Another time cut.
That's what you're looking for here.
In second place, Karina Zhu, 31.39. And in third place, lane number 6, Rodriguez Ray from Sauk. All right, heat number 3 of this 50 free. Reeves from Sauk in lane 1, Billman from McFarland in lane 2, Maceo Pinto from Edgewood in lane 3, Rank from Edgewood in lane 4, Reed from Edgewood in lane 5, Kabata from Edgewood in lane 6, Haslow from Edgewood in lane 7, Baker from Sauk in lane 8.
Mentioning splash and dash, it's a pretty normal swim phrase here for the 50 free, because you dive in, make a splash, and you dash back to where you came from.
That's right.
This race is literally details. You do your start. When you're done with your start, you got to get ready for your turn. After your turn, you got to get ready for your finish, and the race is over.
Yep. Lane 5. Emma Reed, 25.94. Second place, Maria Rank, 25.97. And in third is lane 3, Audrey Messia Pinto from Edgewood. All right, now it's the varsity turn. 4 heats. This is heat number 1 of 4. Free passage from Lodi, Wisconsin Heights in lane 3. Emma Essil from Oregon in lane 4. Grace Ryan, Lodi, Wisconsin Heights in lane 5. We'll see. I think Lodi might have, lane 3 might have flinched. We'll see.
Up on the blocks, when they say take your mark, you need to get into your ready position, but then as you try to say as a coach, you need to be still as a statue. Only once you hear that beep can you start to move for that race. And unlike other sports like track, you only get the one shot. They won't redo the race for you.
Yeah. So lane 4, Emma Essil from Oregon wins with a 29.28.
Those were some great JV times out of heat 3 there, those 25s. That would have taken in heat 4 of this varsity here.
Yeah, that's right.
Next is heat 2, the varsity 50 freestyle. And they won from Portage, 2 from Monroe-New.
All right, we're in heat number 2. Gladham from Portage in lane 1. Dahl from Monroe-New Glarus in lane 2. Frost from Lodi in lane 3. Lane 4, Wegner from Baraboo in lane 4. Fahey Port in lane 5. Shiro from Monroe-New Glarus in lane 6. Ballenbach, Lodi in lane 7. Solidus from Sauk in lane 8. And at the 25, it is pretty tight. You got 4 swimmers all turning at the same time.
Coming back on this last 25, you really need to put your head down instead of breathing. Nail your finish timing and out-touch your opponents to see what happens.
Lane 3? No. Lane 5? Lane 5, 28.19. That is Baraboo's Rachel Locks. Second place, 28-4. Sorry, that was heat 2. I'm sorry. So lane 5. So that was Fahey from Portage in lane 5 with the winning time. My apologies, everybody. Now we're in heat 3. Strzezinski from Baraboo in lane 1. Wiedner from Portland in lane Wiedner from Portage in lane 2. Ray from McFarland in 5. Marsh from Oregon in lane 6. Lau from Baraboo in, so lane 4 is Marsh, lane 5 is Lau. Schwab from McFarland in lane 6. Van de Hey from Sauk in lane 7. White from Oregon in lane 8. And we're coming down to the finish.
Gotta love it.
It's gonna be close. Lane 4, 26:59. Noel Marsh from Oregon comes in. And in second place, just a 10th off, 26:69. Natalie Widener from Portage. Third place, 26:88. Brooklyn Ray from McFarland. All right, final heat of the 50 free. Rothering from Edgewood in lane 1. Sophie Reed from Edgewood in lane 2. Anna Belfans from Baraboo in lane 3. Abby Reed, Edgewood, lane 4. Maisie Paradis from Monroe-New Glarus in 5. Emily Schoenbrot, McFarland 6. McClure, Edgewood, lane 7. Pape from Sauk in lane 8. And it looks like Abby Reed is going to finish 24:59 for Abby Reed. That is a new pool record. 24:63 held by Mara Freeman is the current record. Abby Reed with a 24:59. That's a little off her time from the best time in the state. She had a 24:25 earlier this season, but a good win there for Edgewood. Second, 24:77 was Paradise from Monroe-New Glarus. All right, we are now at break time. We will be taking a, I believe, 10-minute break. So we will sign off for a bit, and we'll come back with results after the break. So go grab a sandwich, go grab a drink, and we'll start with the 100-yard butterfly when we get back. 15-minute break. All right, guys, we're back. Still got a few more minutes left in break, but while we are waiting, I'm going to provide you some results here. Top 3 swims in event number 6 for the JV. Addison Worth from McFarland, Izzy Tobin in second, Calista Mignon for McFarland with the top time of 2:39.79 for the individual medley. In varsity, the top 3, Sam Vega, again a 1-2-3 finish for Edgewood. Sam Vega in third place, junior 2:13.25. Izzy Bloom 2:11.89, and Anna T. Knights 2:09.95. In the 50-yard freestyle before we went to break, junior varsity, Massia Pinto from Edgewood in third place, Mari Rank from Edgewood in second place, Emma Reed from Edgewood in first. For the varsity, Sophie Reed, junior, with a time of 25.26 in third place, Maisie Paradis from Monroe-New Glarus with a time of 24.77, and Abby Reed, 24.59, the senior from Edgewood, coming in first in the 50-yard freestyle. Scores after the 50-yard freestyle for junior varsity: fifth place, Baraboo; fourth place, Monroe-New Glarus; third place, Sauk Prairie; second place, McFarland with 164 points; Edgewood in first with 209. Varsity division, Portage in 8th place, Lodi, Wisconsin Heights in 7th, Oregon in 6th, Monroe-New Glarus in 5th, Sauk Prairie in 4th, McFarland 3rd with 120 points, Baraboo in 2nd place with 124, Edgewood in first with 252 points. It's going to be interesting going in the second half of this meet with Baraboo and McFarland only separated by 4 points.
That's nothing. That's just a couple of places, and we've talked about this before in previous meets we've announced.
All right, before you get to that, Wes, this is the girls 100-yard butterfly, or junior varsity.
Look at this.
Olivia Budzinski on her own here in lane 4. Her seat time, 1:08.36. Let's see what she can do here.
Yeah, going back to those point totals, only 4 points separating those two teams. It's not necessarily who wins those events, it's all the other places. And in a lot of those events, you saw it in the 50 free, it comes down to just tenths of a second. So we'll see how it shapes out here on these last couple of events. But keep your eyes on places other than just that top 3 as well as it comes to these team scores. They make a lot of difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when it comes down to the relays. You know, the B relays and where they finish are almost as important as the A relays. I remember back in 2018 when McFarland won the conference meet, it was that B relay in the 400 freestyle that actually put that over. All right, here's Budzinski coming in. 1:05.52. Great cut time from 1:08.36. Well done.
Especially all on their own.
Yeah, especially on our own. All right, or event number 10, the girls 100-yard butterfly varsity. 2 heats. We'll have Worth from McFarland in lane 1, Cochin from Oregon in lane 2, Shiro from Monroe-New Glarus in lane 3, Miller, Sauk Prairie in lane 4, Pape from Sauk in lane 5, Keppel from Baraboo in lane 6, Ballenbach, Lodi lane 7, Groshek from Lodi in lane 8. And Wes, we can talk a little bit about this probably for the next heat for the butterfly. Do you want to talk about the red little lines there?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you watch the swimmers come across your screen, you're going to notice that there's 2 different little red dots there in the middle of the pool right there. Those are actually the 15-meter marks. Now, Those 15-meter marks are set up so when the swimmers come off their wall, they can actually go all the way to the second marker underwater. They cannot go past. If they go past that mark, that would be a disqualification, meaning that their time would not count. Back in the day, you used to be able to kick underwater as far as you could, and they soon realized that that was overtaking most races, and instead of being swimming, it was mostly just best dolphin kickers, so they implemented these marks to make swimmers come up for their races.
And Cassandra Miller in lane 4 with the win, 104.53. Second place, Ashley Pape with a 107. And in third place, lane number 3, Samantha Shiro, Monroe-New, Glarus, 109.12.
As we go through these heats, hopefully you're going to see the swimmers try to pursue or push their underwaters further towards those marks, because it is faster to actually be underwater than on top for some swimmers.
All right, heat number 2. Savannah Acker from Sauk Prairie in lane 1, Claudia Schwartz from Oregon lane 2, Ella Lohr from Baraboo in lane 3, Mazzy Paradis from Monroe-New, Glarus in 4, Emily Showbroat McFarland lane 5, Izzy Bloom, Edgewood lane 6, Natalie Nizer from Baraboo lane 7, Claire Sweeney lane number 8.
Another reason why you might see many swimmers push their underwaters a little bit further, especially in butterfly. Not only is it faster to be underwater, but butterfly is a very tough stroke from a strength standpoint. Grabbing all of that water with both arms at the same time, with enough strength to get your arms to come up and over the water, is very difficult. It's one of the most difficult strokes to master, and using that strength all the way through for a full 100 can be very difficult.
And we got a tight race here. Paradis, Schombrot, Sweeney, all neck and neck.
Look at that. Lane 8.
Lane 8. Savannah Acker Claire Sweeney from Edgewood with a 59.04. Second place, lane 2, Claudia Schwartz, 100.37. And in third place, lane 6, Izzy Bloom, Edgewood, 100.48.
Yeah,
this is where I would talk a little bit about taper, don't you think?
It's tough to say, again, based off of my initial eye. I think a lot of times you can tell when some swimmers have rested for this meet or not, maybe even based off the type of suit they're wearing, showing that they might have a little bit more focus by wearing a little bit more of a high-end suit versus a regular meet suit. But it is tough to say.
All right, we are in event number 11, the girls 100-yard freestyle junior varsity. Lane number 3, Cora Brickle from Sauk. Lane 4, Ava Hanschnick from Sauk. Lane 5, Kruger from Sauk.
But an example of what we were just talking about with swimmers who are focused for this meet, potentially being their last meet, and the suits that they wear. You can see that all 3 swimmers here have a suit that goes all the way down to their knees versus some other swimmers who might be wearing a suit without that leg compression, and that is more of a normal meet suit versus some of these high-end suits. These high-end suits really allow the swimmers to actually float higher in the water, give compression to their muscles to not get as tired as easy, and again, help out with some of that mental game we talked about earlier. Getting something nice and new helps you feel like you can swim fast.
Absolutely. And buoyancy too, right? Don't they?
Yep.
Tries to lift you up as well, so you
Yeah.
swim on top of that water. All right, Ava from Sauk Prairie with the win here, 116.41. Kruger in second, and then Cora Brickle in third. Heat number 2 of 3. We'll have Caitlin Carson in lane 1 from Edgewood, Natalie Balwig from Sauk in lane 2, Rodriguez Rea from Sauk in lane 3, DeMarb from Edgewood in lane 4, Branch from McFarland in lane 5, Rukala from Sauk in lane 6, Terry from Baraboo in lane 7. And just to let everybody know, the Badger West teams, they did some realignment here for the Badger Conference, so now it's West and East versus North and South. So the Badger West teams represent are McFarland, Lodi, Baraboo, Oregon, Edgewood, Monroe-New, Glarus, Portage, and Sauk Prairie. All right. All right, and halfway through, coming to the last wall, you have Natalie Branch in the lead, followed by Audrey Nakurla from Sauk. It's going to be these two coming in. And it is Natalie Branch in lane 5 of the 106.37. Second place, Nakurla from Sauk with a 107.37. And in third, lane 3, Rodriguez Rea, 109.85. There's a nice shot of Natalie getting out of the pool, down the dive well, or the diving board, heading back to her team.
Very festive hat.
Yeah,
right
very
there.
festive hat by, I think that's Adriana. All right, heat number 3 for that 100-yard freestyle. Bear from Edgewood in lane 1, Van Horn, McFarland in lane 2. Urzagast from Edgewood in 3, Rank from Edgewood in 4, Rothering from Edgewood in 5, Haslow from Edgewood in 6, Douglas from McFarland in 7, Swallen from Baraboo in lane 8.
A lot of these junior varsity swimmers right on the bubble or just under, again, another barrier in swimming, that minute mark in the 100 freestyle.
Yeah, that's always been the first goal, right, for freestylers, and especially the 100. You want to get under that 1 minute and then work from there.
Yeah, it's great to always just try to eliminate a whole number off your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
or the easiest marks would be some of those minute marks or 30-second marks, depending on the races. But there's always barriers in timed races like these, and a minute barrier mark is a great goal for a lot of these swimmers here in this heat.
And as we come into the finish for heat number 3, we have Rothering with a 58 flat off of her seed time of 1:00:25, so broke that minute mark pretty handily.
Great job.
Lane 4, 59:02, or sorry, 59:08 came in second, which is lane 4, Mari Renk. And in third place, 1:00:23, lane number 3, Bella Urzagast. All right, it is now the varsity's turn at the 100 free. Heat number 1 of 3. Yura from Port in lane 1. Foley from Monroe-New Glarus in 2. Saldis from Sauk in lane 3. Lechner from Lodi in lane 4. Gladham from Port in lane 5. Dull from Monroe-New Glarus in 6. Himbach, Sauk 7. Tesh, Oregon, lane 8. And at the turn there, you have Slatis from Sauk in the lead.
Yeah, getting out to an early lead is very nice for 100. Hit this wall. Let's see how they do for their second 50.
Hand coming in the wall here. Slatis from Sauk clocks in at 1:03:23. Second place, Himbrook, 1:06:58. And in third, Dahl from Monroe-New Glarus, 1:06:59. So 1:03:23 will be the time to beat going into the second heat. And in heat number 2, lane number 1, Frost from Lodi in lane 1, lane 2, White from Oregon, lane 3, Green from McFarland, lane 4, Schwab from McFarland, lane 5, Vandelhay from Sauk, lane 6, Straczynski from Baraboo, lane 7, Balabach from Lodi, lane 8, McMahon from Baraboo. It's a nice start over in lane number 8. By McMahon. We'll see what she can do with that. Middle of the pool, Schwab and Vandelay looking strong as well.
Right in sync there at the 50 mark. All three 28 mids.
It's a good time.
Being out in a 28 usually means that they're going to be right at or just under this minute mark. Again, that barrier we talked about from a previous heat. Let's see if they can do it.
And it is Vandehay from Sauk Prairie with a 59.25. Second with a 1:00:09 is Natalie Schwab. And in third place from McFarland, Carolyn Green with a 1:00:73. have the final heat of the 100 free. We have Stout from Baraboo in lane 1. Hostley in lane 2 from Monroe-New Glarus. Reed from Edgewood in lane 3. Sophie Reed in lane 3. Abby Reed in lane 4, also from Edgewood. Mara Freeman in lane 5 for McFarland. Lane 6, Katie McClure from Edgewood. Lane 7, Ella Pulls from Lodi, and Brooklyn Ray rounds out in lane 8 for McFarland. Abby Reed has one of the top times here in the state with a 52.75. The only Badger West conference, everybody else, Ashwaubenon, Greendale, and Rhinelander. So we'll see what Abby can do here.
Out in 26.29.
In lane 5, Mara Freeman, 26.34. They are right on top. Let's see how this race comes down. It's going to come down to Mara Freeman. Can she get in? Mara Freeman with the win, 54.3. Abby Reed in second, 54.34. 4/100ths of a second difference between first and second. Third place, Sophie Reed from Edgewood at 55.36.
Way to use those long arms to get to that wall.
Absolutely. That, I believe, was the difference.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Reaching out, getting onto your side, touching that pad.
Mara Freeman, former state champion in the 100 backstroke. And in the 200 medley, McFarland won the state in 2018. And Mara led off that relay. All right, it is now the girls combined. We're going to combine junior varsity and varsity for heat number 1. So in lane 1 and lane 2 will be junior varsity. That'll be Brock and Torgensen from Edgewood. And then in varsity heat number 1, you'll have Shanks from Portage, Ellie Draper from McFarland in lane 4, Grace Ryan from Lodi in lane 5, and Kylie Bruthen from Lodi in lane 6. Going back to the 100-yard butterfly, event number 10. Top 3, Izzy Bloom for Edgewood, Claudia Schwartz for Oregon, Claire Sweeney with a 59.04 won that 100-yard butterfly. And then the results for the 100-yard freestyle junior varsity. Urza Gast from Edgewood came in 3rd. Mari Rank from Edgewood came in 2nd. And Claire Rothberg from Edgewood came in 1st with a time of 58 seconds flat. In junior varsity, Sophie Reed from Edgewood came in 3rd place for varsity. Abby Reed, Edgewood, came in 2nd place, and in 1st place in that 100-yard freestyle, Mara Freeman for McFarland with a time of 54.3. So scores after event number 12, which was the 100-yard freestyle. On junior varsity, 5th place is Monroe, 4th place Baraboo, 3rd place Sauk Prairie. McFarland in 2nd place with 199 points, and Edgewood is in 1st place with 310 points. Going to the varsity, Portage is in 8th Lodi is in 7th. Oregon 6th. Monroe 5th. Sauk Prairie 4th. Baraboo with 160 points now in 3rd. McFarland with 186 points now in 2nd. And Edgewood a commanding 336 points in 1st place for Varsity in the team standings. All right, this is the 500-yard freestyle. All right, Wes, tell the fans what we're looking for when you're coaching a 500 free.
Well, as you see on the screen here, you got some teammates helping out the swimmers. Since this is a longer race, those teammates there on the bulkhead of the pool are actually helping their teammates by counting the number of laps. So pacing is definitely something that you need for this 500 free. And depending on how you want to swim this race, it's going to be different from swimmer to swimmer. A lot of times you could maybe try to descend your hundreds, meaning that you get faster 1 through 5. You could set it up where you try to have your second half be faster. There's a lot of different ways to attack this race, and those teammates on the bulkhead help you stay accountable with how you're attacking that race and can keep you on pace. A lot of times, especially you'll see here towards the end of the race, they'll show the number, and a lot of times they'll push the number up and down. That usually means to pick it up. And it's just a really helpful way to have the swimmers be in the zone, stay on pace, and tackle this, the longest distance race here in the high school lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be interesting to see. I always like watching it because you want to look for consistency in terms of their splits and see how they do. So it's not uncommon for parents of the distance swimmers to keep track of their kids' splits as well. So
yeah, it's always a good way to show where you could improve later on, or knowing how you felt during the race, and you hear your times, you can be like, oh, really? I was going that? Well, maybe I could go faster all the way through, or faster at this point in time during the race. And again, would influence how you and your counter on the bulkhead work together to get through it.
Well, while we have some time, since this is the longest race, it is a busy day here for McFarland. 1 o'clock started the conference meet. At 4 o'clock, the McFarland boys soccer will play their match to get into state. If they win, they go to state. And then at 7 o'clock is I think it's the sectional for volleyball, girls volleyball, and if they win, they go to state. So
wow,
busy day here in McFarland. If you're watching this and you want to go catch some other sports, again, 4 o'clock is boys soccer, 7 o'clock is girls volleyball.
Good luck to all.
Absolutely. Also like to thank our WMCF production, brought to you by McFarland Communications and Technology. Today's staff: Stephanie Miller, Nick Boucher, Patrick Hasty, are all here helping us out film the meet. They do a great job every time that we do this. They make this job much easier for Wes and I, so I want to thank those guys for putting this together. They have the great graphics, and we'll have to see what they can do next year and see if they can add some cool graphics or something.
This will always be improving for the sport. I also think with the pressure of COVID and putting together some of these live stream events, it'll be something that will hopefully stick through for all sports moving forward. I think it's exciting that people can watch these events from home or wherever they may be during the time and stay up to date with how their favorite teams are doing.
Yeah, and I think you also learn a lot too. I watch the boys soccer, and I don't know, I can't remember the person's name who does the broadcasting there, but he does a great job. I learned a lot. I knew nothing about soccer until I started watching it, so it was good. It's good education as well.
Yeah, and again, if anybody has any questions that they would like to ask through YouTube, feel free to reach out to us and we'll help you out in any way we can as well.
So other great programming here on WCMF. 13 Nights of Halloween is back. Tune in every night at 9 p.m. to a classic horror film. Tonight's film, the 1925's Phantom of the Opera. That's the signal for one more lap in the 500 free. Also, the 13 Nights of Halloween, in conjunction with the 13 Nights of Halloween, celebrate the 31st by watching horror films all day long on WCMF. You can find the entire schedule on the Village's Instagram and Facebook pages. So as we come to the end of the first heat of the 500 freestyle, you have actually lane number 2, 5:38.59, which is actually from the JV heat, coming in at a 5:38.59. Second place in lane 1, also from Edgewood, which is also their junior varsity swimmers. I think it just shows you the strength of the Edgewood team and what they have to offer. And
especially in a longer race like this, sometimes it's tough to get some swimmers to really want to commit towards this longer race in the high school lineup.
All right, even though it says third place, the first place in that heat would be Ellie Draper from McFarland, 6:23.57. That is a cut from her seat time of 6:29.85. So a good race for her. Ryan Grace with a 6:25.23. Her seat time was 6:40. So again, another good swim for her. Lane number 6 at a 6:57. Her seat time was 7:06.04. So another good drop here for everybody. And 7:11.01 for lane number 3, Meredith Shanks from Portage. All right, up next we have heat number 2 of the 500-yard freestyle. In lane 1, we have Ava Flanagan from Sauk. Gebauer from Oregon in lane 2. Lowe from Baraboo in lane 3. McClure from Edgewood in lane 4. Lynch from Monroe-New Glarus in 5. Prairie from Lodi in lane 6. Cochin from Oregon in lane 7. School from Baraboo in lane 8. And the officials giving instructions to the counters. It's a nice shot of the coaching from Portage just after her swim in the 500, giving her some feedback. What are some of the things that you kind of tell swimmers in the 500?
It really depends, but if I had to give some good feedback, I think the timing of the breath as you start to get tired in freestyle sometimes starts to get a little bit long, and then that creates a gap in your stroke, meaning that you're slowing down instead of keeping consistent pressure moving through the water. I also think making sure that you give a couple kicks off your wall can go a long way over a 500. with this race being a longer race. If you can cut off a couple tenths of 50, there's a lot of them, so that adds up over the full duration of the race.
Yeah, little things like that can make up a lot of time in a 500 free. And as we get started here, McClure from Edgewood sets the pace for everybody. 30.25 for the first 50. We'll see how she goes as the race goes on. Speaking of other WCMF programming, one of my favorites is Throwback Thursdays. Go back in time. Every Thursday night, watch an old McFarland school event or McFarland cable program and reminisce about the good old days. Maybe you'll see someone you know, or maybe you'll even see yourself. More Throwback Thursday scheduling can be found on www.mcfarland.wisconsin.us/news. And also Senior Film Fridays, every first and third Friday of the month at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. McFarland Senior Outreach Services is teaming up with McFarland Cable to provide some of the themed programming to the senior community. November's theme, Noir November, or I guess Noir-vember. It's a good one.
See what they did there.
I did. It's excellent. Enjoy film noir classics this month. On November 5th, the film showing is DOA from 1949. And then on November 17th, the film is Kansas City Confidential from 1952. I have not seen either of those movies, so I'm going to go check that out now.
I can't say I have either. Maybe I'll do the same.
Now I know what to do on the first and third Friday of the month. But let's talk more about swimming. Here we go. We've got McClure out to a nice, comfortable lead here. 33.61 was her last split. We'll check to see what her next split is.
If she's holding 33s, that should really help her achieve a best time, knowing that her best time is 5:45 here, according to the heat sheet.
And that split is 34.05, a little slower, but we'll see.
I mean, even 108s would have her finish right around a 5:40. So, again, establishing the pace, using her counter, and hopefully she was practicing some of these things in practice to set her up for success at this meet.
Good job doing math there, Wes. I would not have gotten that. I would have just said, okay, we'll see what happens.
I was a coach here for a little while. It's one of those things you gotta start figuring out.
34.3 is her next split.
We'll see. Her splits may be getting slower, but she is coming towards the end of the race, as you can see here. Or maybe as the screen changes, her counter was shaking. That counter up and down again, telling her to pick it up. See if she's able to do so.
.29. So I'd like to point out, if you do watch other McFarland Cable broadcasts, you can go to YouTube, www.youtube.com/McFarland Cable. If you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We'd appreciate it. The other places to watch McFarland Cable is TDS Cable Channel 1009 or Spectrum Cable Channel 982. You can always go to www.mcfarlandcablechannel.com.
So that sound there was the final horn, allowing the swimmer to know that they are on their last 50 of the 500.
All right. All right, nice swim. 5:33.10 for Alex McClure. Her seat time, 5:45.07 for a great drop.
Yeah, and thank you for proving that my math was right.
Yeah, very good. Good job. Second place, 5:51.98 for Monroe-New Glarus is Delaney Lynch. And in third, 5:59.34, Rachel Law from Baraboo. All right, we are on our third and final heat of the 500-yard freestyle. In lane 1, Wiedner from Portage is in lane 1. Olson from Sauk in lane 2. Thompson from Edgewood in 3. Izzy Enns in lane 4 for Edgewood. Bryn Stacy from Edgewood in lane 5. Catherine Dunn, Oregon, lane 6. Hadley Johnson, McFarland, lane 7. Sophia Elf from McFarland in lane 8. Watch the middle of the pool. Izzy Enns in lane 4 currently holds the top time in the state with a 5:07.13. And the third best time is 5:15.87. That's held by Bryn Stacy, also from Edgewood. So we'll see what they can do here in this conference meet.
Once again, just waiting for the official to talk to the counters. So we're ready for this final heat.
And you see there all the counters walking out to their spots. And we're off for the 500. Nice clean start. And again, we'll be interested to see the pacing for the swimmers. As he ends there with just a nice stroke.
Yep, getting those hands out in front of the shoulders. When we say clean, we mean no air bubbles on the hands. Pulling air won't help you get through the water any quicker, so you're looking for just water on those hands to grab and move yourself through the water.
All right, let's see what her first split comes in at. First feet-to-feet split.
Yeah, typically with a start, that should get you out a little bit faster than your pace, and you look at your second to then see how you're doing.
30.6 for Izzy, 30.9 for Bryn Stacy.
with this being the final heat and knowing that some of them may be trying to qualify in this event for state at sectionals the following weekends. In 2019 and 2020, the state qualifying time was a 5:28.57.
Izzy ends 30.3 for her second 50. Let's see what her third 50 comes in at. 30.9. So pretty consistent here. 30 seconds every 50.
Yeah, as you go through the race, you'll find that most swimmers start off quick, settle into a pace probably through that 350 mark, and then maybe pick it up for those last 350s of the race, typically. Again, the goal hopefully would be to be very consistent with your splits throughout, but as you come to the end of the race, you always seem to get this little boost of speed, knowing that the end is near.
.31.02 for Izzy on that split, a little slower than the last few. .31.02 for Izzy in the next 50. Gonna do the math now for the viewers now?
Well, 31s would be 102s, and 2 times 5 is 10, so that'd be 5:10.
Okay, good job.
In case you want to know how I
How you did that?
kind of skip around it. Yeah.
All right, good job.
Knowing that her first 100 is probably a little faster than that, she'll probably be under that time, but doing the easy math is how I like to do it.
Easy is always better. That's what I've always learned. Especially when it comes to math. Easy math, the better.
Well, knowing that her seed time's a 5:07, being around a 1:10 with some easy math actually bodes pretty well for her being close to her best time of the season.
I think that bodes well for her for sectionals and state, because again, I would assume somebody like Izzy's not tapered for this meet.
That would be a fair assumption. I would assume the same. And coming into conference, I think it's to be a good confidence boost and maybe try something new one last time. This is your last chance before it really counts to try something in this race and see how it works for you.
Yep. And noticing she is not wearing a tech suit either. So
Correct. Again, that was an assumption on my part. Tech suits are not required for final meets of the season, but typically most swimmers do have a different suit for their final meet of the season to allow for some of those advantages that that suit may provide. And you'll mostly see those for people who are taking this meet or sectionals and state as their final meet of the season.
5:07.61, just off her best time of 5:07.13. The 5:07.61, she comes in first place, and Bryn Stacy comes in second, 5:21.73.
I think Bryn came in maybe slightly faster than that. She'd be in lane 5, and that's again,
a soft touch.
those dashes mean a soft touch, meaning that the pad that's in the water did not fire, but they will get that corrected by using the computer here on our right and the timers behind the blocks.
Yeah, I'd also like to point out that 5:07.61 is a new pool record here at McFarland. Which again, not surprising. This is kind of the first big meet for this pool, so we'll see. I think we've seen a lot of the pool records fall today, so again, not surprising. But again, that is a new pool record for here at McFarland.
That's what you want to see. Keep future meets always aiming for higher goals, and getting some pool records is always a fun way to do it if you're able to do so.
All right. Next up now is the girls 200-yard freestyle relay. This is the junior varsity meet. In lane 2, you'll have Sauk's B relay. Lane 3, you'll have McFarland's A relay. Lane 4, Edgewood's A relay. Lane 5, Edgewood's B relay. Lane 6, Sauk's A relay. And in lane 7, you'll have McFarland's B relay.
So it's been a little bit since we had a relay at this meet. Again, we started off with a relay, but haven't had one since. The way a relay works is 4 swimmers all compete together for the distance of that relay, each taking an equal distance for their own. The way that they start the next swimmer is as the other swimmer that is in the water comes towards the wall. The other swimmer may start moving on the block, but cannot leave that block until the swimmer in the water touches that wall. That is the exchange, the hand touching the wall as the swimmer on the block's feet are still on it. As long as there is touching of the wall and touching of the feet to that block, that is a legal exchange and should allow swimmers to get a nice head start to their race.
And it's really the trust of the swimmer coming in. You know, if there's a false start on a bad exchange, it's typically the swimmer coming in, not necessarily the swimmer off the block, right?
Correct. I think at our previous dual meet, I always use the example of if I threw a ball at you, you would know when it would, hit you. But if all of a sudden that ball changes speed, that's not really fair. Right. So similar to catching a ball, you'd like to think that the swimmer coming in should be able to maintain speed, and you can catch their timing up onto that wall and nail your relay swing exchange. So maintaining speed and being able to trust that person in the water to continue to move at that rate is what will allow for a good exchange.
Yep.
Especially in this relay, with each swimmer only swimming a 50, not throwing in a breath that last 10 yards, I think, is pretty critical. Putting your head down, coming in, so the swimmer on the block knows what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. Everybody gets to do a splash and dash, and ways to get faster at the 50 is by holding your breath.
Yep. All right, here we go with that 200-yard freestyle. And again, not surprising, you got Edgewood out. Their A and B relay. Pretty strong for junior varsity.
Absolutely. Getting those arms and legs moving as fast as they can while maintaining hold of the water. It's a really tough balancing act. It's not about who can just move their arms and legs the fastest. It's all about moving your arms and legs as fast as you can with water.
Right.
That's the big caveat right there.
All right, Edgewood with a 148.73. And Edgewood's B relay with a 2:01.65. And we have Kyla Thorson coming in on that relay. There she goes. Good finish for Kyla. All right, next up we'll have the girls 200-yard freestyle relay varsity. We have the B relay of Monroe-New Glarus in lane 1. Lane 2, Oregon's B relay. Lane 3, Portland. I always want to call it Portland. Portage. Portage A relay. McFarland's B relay in lane 4. Baraboo's B relay in 5. Sauk's B relay in lane 6. Lodi's B relay in lane 7. This is heat 1 of 2. Just for reference, wait till we get started. Just for reference here, the top time in the state in Division II, Rhinelander at a 138.43. Madison Edgewood is second with 138.73. Sauk is a 144.39. That is the 5th best time in the state. So when we get to that second heat, it should be a good race. See how things go here.
Yeah, again, with everybody swimming a 50 here, this is a really exciting relay to watch if it's close. Comes down to those little details, similar to the 50 freestyle, but now you also have the relay exchanges and 4 people in a row versus just individually.
And I think, as we mentioned before, right, this is something that you want to watch here. These are the B relays. These are important relays for the point standings and the team standings. So, again, you know, this B relay might not win the overall event, but if they place high enough, they can really help the team scores, especially in the relay.
There's always something going on in the pool, whether that be from a swimmer overcoming or trying to improve their own times, whether that be the top of the conference or their own individual heat towards the bottom. There's always something to be swimming for. And again, the exciting part to be on a relay and compete with your teammates and double the points. Relays are a great thing for the meet, and I know how much swimmers enjoy to be on them.
All right. That McFarland relay, 151.79. And in second place, Baraboo with 155.32. And in third, Sauk Prairie with a 155.93. All right, on heat number 2, Monroe-New Glarus in lane 1, their A relay. Baraboo's A relay in lane 2. Lane 3, Sauk's A relay. Lane 4, Edgewood A's relay. Lane 5, Edgewood's B relay. Oregon's A relay in lane 6. Lane 7 is McFarland's A relay. And in lane 8 is the Lodi-Heights A relay. And as we start this, I did just receive the results for 13 and 14, the 500 freestyle. Third place, Sylvia Thompson with Edgewood. Stacy Bryn from Edgewood in second place, and Izzy Lands, 5:07.61, wins the 500-yard freestyle. After 14 events, for junior varsity, it is Monroe-New, Glarus in 5th, Baraboo in 4th, Sauk, Prairie in 3rd, McFarland 2nd with 199 points. Edgewood's junior varsity has scored 347 points. In varsity, we'll get to the varsity team scores now. Portage in 8th place, Lodi in 7th, Oregon in 6th, Monroe in 5th, Sauk Prairie in 4th. With 170 points, Baraboo is in 3rd, 211 points is McFarland, and Edgewood has 404 points.
They're looking to continue that lead here as they finish up this relay.
140.08. 140.08 for Edgewood. In second place, Edgewood's B relay at 143.48. And in third, Sauk Prairie, 143.50. Although we've got discussion with the officials, which usually means there is a jump.
Yeah, potentially here we'll see if I can peek across to see. They could also be maybe discussing order of finish, since this was a pretty close race between second and third on different ends of the pool.
So while we are waiting for the officials to confirm, again, I want to thank this WMCF production broadcast. It's brought to you by McFarland Communications and Technology. Stephanie Miller, who heads that department, does a fabulous job. Also, Nick Boucher and Patrick Hasty here today doing the cameras and the other production staff. So they do a great job. So please support McFarland Communications and Technology and the cable station WCMF, please. All right, we'll find out if there is a DQ on the last. We'll report as soon as we find out. The next event is event number 17, the girls 100-yard backstroke, junior varsity, one heat, Bear from Sauk in lane 1, Mignon from McFarland in 2, School from Baraboo in 3. Brock from Edgewood in 4. Bada from Edgewood in 5. In 6, it's Izzy Tobin from McFarland. Lane 7, Nicola from Sauk in lane 7. And Rudinsky from Lodi in lane 8. This is the 100 back. And I am getting the results for that 200-yard freestyle for junior varsity. Sauk Prairie junior varsity ended up in 3rd place, and Edgewood's B relay came in 2nd. Edgewood's A relay of Massia Pinto, Kabata, Bazinski, McClure ended up in 1st place with a time of 1:48.73. In the varsity division, in 3rd place, Oregon's A relay. In 2nd, Sauk A relay of 1:43.50 was their time. And in 1st place, Edgewood's A relay of 1:40.08 ended up in 1st. It does look like Edgewood's B relay did DQ. It sounds like it was a false start for them. So again, 3rd place, Oregon. 2nd place, Sauk. 1st place, Edgewood. And at the end of this race here is 107.52. Ashlyn Brock comes in 1st place. 2nd, Kabata from Edgewood. And in 3rd place, it is Mignon from McFarland, the freshman from McFarland, coming in 3rd. All right, next up is event number 18, the girls 100-yard backstroke varsity. There will be 3 heats. In heat number 1, Tesh from Oregon in lane 1, Passage from Lodi in lane 2, Schrader from Sauk in lane 3, Lochner from Lodi in lane 4, Rufer from Monroe-New Glarus in lane 5, Essel from Oregon in lane 6, and Lochner from Lodi in lane 7. Team standings after event number 16 in junior varsity. Edgewood in 1st with 421 points, McFarland 255, Sauk Prairie with 198, Baraboo with 18, and Monroe with 15. For varsity, Edgewood still in the lead, 444 points. McFarland in 2nd, 265 points. Baraboo 216 points. Sauk Prairie 200. Oregon with 153. Monroe with 149. 7th place, Lodi is with 80 points, and Portage in 8th with 25. And as we come into the final leg of the 100-yard backstroke, looks like Taylor Rufer from Monroe-New Glarus in the lead.
Yep, we'll see how she can eye up her finish here. Again, for backstroke, you're looking at the ceiling, so you have to know your count when you come underneath the flags for your flip turns and finishes. She had a very nice finish there, coming in 1st at a 1:11.73.
And her seed time in that event, 1:15.46. So
nice time drop as well.
Nice time drop. All right, heat number 2. McMahon from Baraboo is in lane 1. Coy from Sauk. 3, Hosley from Monroe-New Glarus. 4, League from McFarland. Lane 5, Surslin from Baraboo. Lane 6, Cambrione from Oregon. Lane 7, Siren from Oregon. Lane 8, Fahey from Portage. Almost said it again. Almost said Portland. Can't happen.
So with backstroke, again, as I alluded to earlier, you are on your back looking at the ceiling the whole time during this race, except for when you have to turn over onto your belly and flip onto that wall. Knowing your backstroke count as you come underneath those blue, white, and gray flags is a very important detail for all backstrokers, because if you take an extra stroke or delay on your belly too long, you can be disqualified for that race. Also, being on your back and working your underwaters, it is hard or harder than some of the other strokes. Being on your back, water tends to want to come into your nose, so during that time, blowing air out of your nose to keep the water from going in helps do that, but at some point you might run out of air. So knowing how to properly blow out of your nose, be on your back, work your underwaters, and know your stroke counts for backstroke are all important details.
All right, and really, well, clearly those times aren't right. So we'll get some official times a little later, but Little League won that event for McFarland. And we have a little clock issue, so officials are working on that right now. They'll most likely grab the times, I would assume, from the timers, which is why we have timers.
That would be my bet. Otherwise, again, if those times did come in and stop for a second from the pad, even though the clocks continued to run, they might be able to pull those numbers as a split. But without me being at the computer myself, I cannot say for sure.
They're working on it. Got a crack staff over there. Got Stu Schaefer, the meet director. Nick and Neil Weiss are on it. They can too. They've got it. As we get ready for Heat 3, we'll announce who's swimming. So in Lane 1, you'll have Caroline Green from McFarland. Lane 2, Morgan Erstad from Monroe-New Glarus. Anna Belfrance from Baraboo will be in Lane 3. Lane 4, Anna Tiedites from Edgewood. Lane 5, Mara Freeman from McFarland. Lane 6, Adriana Nichols from McFarland. Lane 7, Claire Sweeney from Edgewood. And lane 8 will be Emma Reed from Edgewood. I would watch the middle of the pool. It should be a good race. Anna Tiedites currently has the top time in the state, 57:38. Mara Freeman is third with a 58:34. Two former state champions, I believe, in this heat. Mara won as a freshman, and somebody will have to do a fact check on me, but I'm pretty sure with COVID I don't remember who won. It's kind of a weird championship meet, but I'm pretty sure Anna won in one of the years.
Yeah, being under a minute is a big barrier for backstroke, as you become pretty elite in this stroke. In 2019 and 2020, the state qualifying time was 1 minute .9. So it shows you how quick some of the swimmers are here today, well under that cut, and look to continue their journey forward, both at sectionals and state in this event.
So as a reminder, after this at 4 o'clock is the with soccer, boys soccer. That'll also, I think, also be broadcast. And David Harris is the soccer commentator. That's who I was trying to remember. Stephanie Miller gave me the answer, so thank you, Stephanie, for that. But he's a great commentator on soccer. Kind of gives you an education on how things go.
Crowd's trying to start a wave here.
Exactly.
Nice packed stands. Good atmosphere for this end of the season meet.
Absolutely. And again, a reminder, 7 o'clock tonight, the Spartan girls are playing at home in their volleyball tournament here, hosted here in McFarland tonight. So if you want a McFarland sports, tonight's the night.
Big night for Paul Ackley.
Yeah, big night
athletic
for Paul.
director here.
Absolutely.
Busy man.
All right, again, green from the bottom to the top. Green, Erstad, Belfance, Teedites, Freeman, Nichols, Sweeney, and Reed. And ooh, that sun is pretty bright on that screen.
You might hope for tinted goggles
here
exactly. Indoors today.
And a Teedites with a slight lead going into the last 50.
Lane 7 is looking good out there as well.
Yep, Claire Sweeney from Edgewood also looking good. All right. 57 flat for Anna Teedites. That is now the best time here in the state. 58:32 for Mara, also a time drop for her as well. And 57 flat is also a pool record. Mara Freeman's pool record of 57.1. And in third place is Claire Sweeney from Edgewood with a 59.04. All right. Our next event is the 100-yard breaststroke for the girls here. Girls 100-yard breaststroke junior varsity. Heat 1 of 1. Brzezinski from Lodi is in lane 1. Lane 2, Meyer from Sauk. Lane 3, Zhu from McFarland. Lane 4, Budzinski from Edgewood. Lane 5, Bear from Edgewood. Lane 6, Reeves from Sauk. Lane 7, Sophie Heckel from McFarland. And in lane 8, Ava Hanschke from Sauk. There's a few of our timers, volunteers here for timing today.
Thank you to all volunteers who help.
Absolutely.
It takes a village to run a great event like this.
It's good. You see some Baraboo timers as well helping out. Sauk Prairie, all brought timers. So again, great job for volunteering. Thank you for doing that. All right, here we go. The 100-yard breaststroke junior varsity.
Great breaststroke pullouts there off the start. That is another mechanic of the list of many for breaststroke that is different from other strokes. The 3 other strokes, butterfly, backstroke, and freestyle, you can do some dolphin kicks to go again to that 15-meter mark. But with breaststroke, you have the breaststroke pullout. That is where your hands will be up in streamline. They come down to their thighs, and then they kick those hands up back into streamline before they start swimming, all while underwater.
Yep. There's another stroke that you kind of see some different techniques going on, right? You see, you know, kind of a fast turnover from the Edgewood swimmer, and then if you look at lane 3, it's just a longer underwater stroke there.
Absolutely.
So both effective.
They're different in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it depends on the swimmer's ability and overall catch of their breaststroke kick, in my experience, would change how I would look at someone's breaststroke. That kick is a major driving force for the stroke, and again is why it's difficult for some swimmers. That kick is tricky.
All right, so Brzezinski and Baer from Edgewood came in 1-2. Brzezinski with a 1:14.38. Sophomore there for Edgewood. Third place is Karina Zhu from McFarland with a 1:28.98. All right, now it's Varsity's turn. The girls' 100-yard varsity. 3 heats, and here is heat number 1. Himba from Sauk in lane 2, Yura from Portage in lane 3, Natalie Branch from McFarland in lane 4, Emma Tran from Monroe-New Glarus in 5, Kaylee Baker from Sauk in 6, Ringhand from Oregon in lane 7. You have Natalie Branch with a nice pull out there. She takes the early lead.
Yep, touching with 2 hands on the wall for both breaststroke and butterfly, so that you can turn around. Doing an open turn is what they're called, and come back the other direction, instead of a flip turn like in freestyle and backstroke. Both butterfly and breaststroke require an open turn. Again, touching with 2 hands, bringing your knees to the chest, falling backwards and pushing off that wall to go back in the other direction.
And Natalie Branch came in first in that first 50. She's out to a nice comfortable lead here going into the last 25.
Looks like she'll be able to take this heat from start to finish.
And there is Natalie Branch going into the wall with a time of 1:22.06. I think she's a little happy and maybe probably a little tired too. 1:22.06. Her seat time was a 1:24.22. So good swim for the senior. All right, up next we have heat number 2 of 3. Brisky from Lodi is in lane 1. Schaefer from Monroe-New Glarus in 2. Marsh from Oregon in lane 3. Talmage from Sauk in lane 4. Kunze from McFarland in lane 5. Gebauer from Oregon in lane 6. Jan from Monroe-New Glarus in 7. Ballenbach from Lodi in lane 8. And backstroke results for junior varsity. Mignon for McFarland came in third. Cabada second for Edgewood. And Brock first for Edgewood with a time of 1:07.52. On the varsity side, Sweeney from Edgewood came in third. Freeman from McFarland in second. And Anna Tiedites with a 57 flat ends up in first place. After through event 18, it is still Edgewood 493. This is varsity now. Edgewood 493, McFarland 314, Baraboo 243. In junior varsity, it's Edgewood 458, McFarland 286, Sauk Prairie 223. All right, we're coming into the finals. Final few yards.
Yep, keep holding that water around,
Talmaz
reach
from
forward.
Sauk ends up winning with a time of 1:15. Sorry,
Again, soft touch.
she had a soft touch there, so we'll check the times there.
If I had to guess, maybe a 114 or a 115 low.
Yep, there we go. 1:14.08. She looks a little surprised there. 1:14.08. Second place, 1:15.78 by Ellie Kunze. And in third, lane number 3, Noelle Marsh from Oregon. All right. This should be another good race. We have Michaels from Monroe-New Grove in lane 1. Brown from Baraboo in lane 2. Billman from McFarland in 3. Stute from Baraboo in 4. Ella Lohr from Baraboo in 5. Sam Vega from Edgewood in 6. Dare from Sauk in 7. Poles from Lodi in lane 8. Ella Lohr has the 4th best time in the state right now, and Mackenzie Stute from Baraboo, the sophomore, with a 1:07.46 has the best time in the state.
It's great to see a lot of top end swimming here of D2 at this meet.
Absolutely. Badger Conference typically pretty strong, has been strong the last 4 or 5 years that I can remember. Stoughton having some state championships, McFarland having state champions, Edgewood having state champions, Baraboo in the top 3 usually. So strong conference here for G2. Mackenzie Stute looking to finish 1:08.43 in first. In second, Sam Vega from Edgewood, the junior, and in third, Ella Lohr from Baraboo, 1:10.65. All right, it is time for the last event of the day, the 400 freestyle relay. The first is the junior varsity version of this event. We'll have Sauk in lane 2, McFarland in lane 3, Edgewood in lane 4, Edgewood in lane 5, and Baraboo in lane 6. This is the 400-yard freestyle relay. 4 members of the team, each swimming a 100-yard freestyle.
It's my favorite way to end a meet.
There's a lot of meets end with a lot of fun here in the 400 free. We've seen a lot of dual meets end on whoever wins the 400 free. Let's see, a lot of the conference championship, like I said, in 2018, ended in the 400 free.
I've seen state championships be decided by this relay.
So a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. And it's an interesting event. You've got, for most of these swimmers, this is their 4th swim of the night in a relatively short period of time. They're tired, they're exhausted, probably emotionally drained as well. But they go out and leave it all in the pool here for the last event of the evening.
Yep, anything left you have in the tank, put it in the pool right now.
And here we go.
Similar to the 200 freestyle relay, many of those details do follow through into the 400 free relay, but adding a second 50 does allow for a little bit more of lead changes potentially, or strategy potentially as you get into this race. And again, it's my favorite way to end a high school meet. Differences in times of how you order the relay can make a difference here as well. I've heard multiple strategies of how you should place your swimmers based off of speed, whether you want to get out front, have a good back end of the relay, or anywhere in between, are all strategies that I'm sure the coaches have thought through, depending on what they think is best for this relay and to get the result that they want.
Absolutely. And we get the results handed in for the 100-yard breaststroke. For the junior varsity, the top 3 finishers in 3rd place: Zoo from McFarland, Bear from Edgewood, and Budzinski from Edgewood, with a winning time of 1:14:38. In the breaststroke for varsity, 3rd place Ella Lore with a 1:10:65. Sam Vega from Edgewood with a 1:10:07. And Mackenzie Stute with a 1:08:43, which is a new McFarland pool record. 1:08:43, Mackenzie Stute, the sophomore from Baraboo. At the end of event 20 for junior varsity, Edgewood is in the lead, 495 points. McFarland, 315. Sauk Prairie, 263. Baraboo, 31. Lodi, 24. And Monroe-New, Glarus, 15. For the varsity, in 1st place, Edgewood with 510 points. McFarland with 337. Baraboo with 288. Sauk Prairie, 224. Monroe-New, Glarus, 190. Oregon with 172. Lodi with 93. And Portage with 28 points. So it looks like Edgewood will be winning conference, followed by McFarland, and then Baraboo.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. And I think that's how that'll go. I mean, unless McFarland DQs both of their relays.
Now you're going to make me do more math?
Yeah, I think so. Edgewood coming in first with a 3:58.68 for junior varsity.
It's a great junior varsity time.
That is a great time.
Talking about those minute barriers, they were able to put together 4 people and be under that 4-minute mark, meaning together they were able to all be under
a
that minute.
Yep. All right. We are now on the 400-yard freestyle relay for varsity. Heat 1 of 2. In heat number 1, we will have the Lodi-Heights B relay. In lane 2 would be the Lodi-Heights A relay. Lane 3, the Sauk Prairie B relay. Lane 4 is the Baraboo B relay. In lane 5, the Oregon B relay. In lane 6, the Monroe-New Glarus B relay. And in lane 7, the Portage A relay. See, it took me almost the entire meet, but I got it down. It's Portage, not Portland.
Yeah, you came through when it mattered most.
Exactly. It's not how you finish, Wes, it's how you end. And so we'll be waiting here as the officials kind of get together to confirm the finish here for that first relay. And they're all getting in place for heat number 1. And for some of these seniors, could be their last swim.
This could be their last swim.
And a good start here for that first heat. And through that first 50, pretty even here for the top 3 positions. Sauk, Baraboo, and Oregon, all pretty close. Matching stroke for stroke.
Yeah, we'll see how this leg finishes up, but then it'll switch to other swimmers, and again, it's like a whole new race begins.
And it looked like Oregon touched first, so they are in the water first. We'll see where we go from here. Again, battle for first place here between Baraboo and Oregon. Baraboo with a slight lead now, starting to pull away.
Here comes lane 3.
Here comes lane 3.
Again, very interesting to see how it changed just from one swimmer to the next.
Exactly. And then again, that's the best part about the 400 free relay, right? You'll have a ton of lead changes, come from behind victories.
And with big stakes at the line at the end of the meet sometimes.
Yes. This time Sauk Prairie comes in first, followed by Baraboo and then Oregon. And we're off to the third leg. And now Baraboo retakes the lead.
Keeps building up on it too. They'll take a big swim here on the back end for some of these other teams to catch up.
Yep. There we go with that anchor leg. See what Sauk can do. It's a pretty big lead though for Baraboo. Good stroke there for Baraboo. Straczynski is the anchor there.
Nice breathing to the side. One goggle in the water, one goggle out. Helps with that body position here in this freestyle, especially as you're tired, to keep your body afloat and those legs up at the surface, kicking hard.
And she comes into the wall. 4:04.74 for Baraboo. Second place Sauk with a 4:10.28. And in third it will be Oregon with a 4:20.38. So a 4:04 to beat. Looks like all of the teams in the second heat all have seat times below that, so the conference champion will come out of that heat. Just to give you an idea, Madison Edgewood right now has the top time in the state of 3:30.37, which right now is already considered an All-American consideration. So Ashwaubenon, Rhinelander, Lakeland, and Greendale round out the top 5.
Yeah, it's a very fast relay here. Even from their time at 3:30, the second place team is a 3:37. That's a pretty big lead for a relay.
All right, in lane 1 for this last swim of the day, Monroe-New Glarus is their A relay is in lane 1. McFarland's A relay is lane 2. Sauk's A relay is lane 3. Edgewood A relay in 4. Edgewood's B relay is in 5. Baraboo is A relays in 6. Oregon's A relay is 7, and McFarland's B relay is in 8. All right, so Edgewood takes the lead. Second is McFarland in lane 2.
And the exchange.
Good exchange there for Edgewood. Over there. All right. We got Edgewood in a
building on that lead here.
building on that lead. Edgewood's B relay looks to be in second. And good competition for third between Oregon, McFarland, and Baraboo.
Still a tight race for third.
It's getting pretty interesting. It'll come down to the anchor here for those three teams.
The anchor leg is always an interesting leg to have. I've seen it be where you put your main swimmer there at the end to try to bring it home. I've seen it where you put somebody in a new position to get the excitement up and kind of challenge them to bring it home. So we'll see how this finishes up for these teams that are fighting for third.
They put Mara Freeman is the anchor leg there for McFarland. This will be all Edgewood. Izzy Enns coming home for Edgewood, followed by Claire Sweeney for Edgewood and their two anchors. And it's going to come really close between McFarland and Sauk. And it is McFarland in third.
It's the second time today with a clutch finish from Mara.
All right, 3:38.02 for Edgewood in first place. In second place, lane number 5, Edgewood, with a 3:43. And in third, McFarland with 3:47.37. And while they're calculating the scores, we'll report on those as soon as we get them. But I don't think it was really any surprise. Edgewood kind of dominating conference with a lot of the top times in the state. It's also kind of hard to win conference when your rivals have the top 2 relays in the heat. So
yeah, their depth of program runs pretty deep and in multiple events. So them coming away with the victory here at conference today is not super surprising, but great swims from all other teams as well. As we were saying throughout the whole meet, everybody was dropping time, swimming fast, and looked like they were all having fun as well. It was great to see some people finish their season this way, if conference is their last meet, and proper setup for these swimmers that are going on to sectionals and state. From what I could tell, things are looking really, really good.
yeah, right. So next week will be sectionals, and that will determine who will swim at state. And that state meet will be the 12th at Waukesha South. So we'll see how McFarland does. Actually, how all the teams will do, and we'll kind of go from there. So, but while we're waiting for the results, again, I'd like to thank the WMCF production, brought to you by McFarland Communications and Technology. Today's staff includes Stephanie Miller, producer extraordinaire, and camera person, I believe. She's doing camera today. Nick Boucher and Patrick Heasty also as part of the staff today. And while we're waiting, again, just a reminder, other upcoming WCMF programming events. 13 Nights of Halloween is back. We're coming to the end. So tonight, tune in every night at 9 o'clock for a classic horror film. Tonight's film is 1925's Phantom of the Opera. In conjunction with the 13 Nights of Halloween, celebrate the 31st by watching horror films all day long. You can find the entire schedule on the Village's Instagram and Facebook posts. Also, Throwback Thursdays. Go back in time every Thursday night, watch an old McFarland school event or McFarland cable program and reminisce about the good old days. Maybe you'll see someone you know, or maybe you'll even see yourself. More Throwback Thursday scheduling can be found at www.mcfarland.wisconsin.us/news. Senior Film Fridays, every first and third Friday of the month at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. McFarland Senior Outreach Services is teaming up with McFarland Cable to provide some themed programming to the senior community. November's theme, Noir-vember. Enjoy film noir classics this coming month. November 5th film showing is DOA, 1949. And 1952, so November 17th, the 1952 classic Kansas City Confidential. I think we're still waiting for results and the tallies. Again, a reminder, if you are a McFarland